Canelo vs Crawford is my second most anticipated fight of the year. My most anticipated would be Usyk vs w.a.d.e, not really because I'm in love with the idea of seeing a rematch between the two, but because Usyk is only going to grace the ring twice more before setting off into the sunset. We're not going to see a heavyweight like him again for a long time, so I'm savoring every fight, every event that he's a part of. Just like how we're also not going to see two top pound for pound fighters like Canelo and Crawford be able to fight. I think this is a much more exciting and unprecedented event than Usyk vs Dubois, and I hope it can live up to expectations. There's a lot to unpack with this fight, that's why I've kind of avoided talking about it. Before we begin, please make sure to subscribe to the channel for more combat sports coverage. Consistent, quality videos that I'm pouring pretty much all of my off-work time into. I'd love for you to be a part of the journey. Anyway, right out of the gate, Crawford is an absolute stud for moving up 2 entire weight classes from 154 to battle Canelo. I understand that Crawford has a longer reach and is slightly taller than Canelo, but on the other hand, this is Crawford's first time ever making 168 in his career. Canelo has been used to this weight for a long time, achieving undisputed status twice at super middleweight. Is this fight a mismatch though? Maybe I'm getting wrapped up into the fantasy of this fight, but I think Crawford has a good chance of winning. Aside from the huge paycheck, I don't think he would fight someone like Canelo if he didn't think he could win. Both fighters are top-class counterpunchers, but I think Crawford has more tools at his disposal. He can switch stances and fight comfortably as a southpaw. He is a master of judging distance, avoiding big punches and landing beautiful counters. However, when he fought Madrimov, it seemed like Crawford was getting tagged more in that contest than usual. It also took him a while to adjust to Madrimov's style and figure him out. A lot of fans have discussed the weight jump being the major factor to Crawford's substandard performance that night, but I think it's just more to do with Madrimov's awkward style. The one word I'd use to describe Madrimov is erratic, and it's understandable why Crawford needed some time to suss him out. Madrimov is up and down, moving at all angles, and it was hard for Crawford to read him. Crawford eventually was able to counter him and grab the decision, but yes, I think that fight being difficult for Crawford was more to do with a clash of styles than weight. So to me, Crawford is the more complete boxer, whereas Canelo nowadays especially has a very great plan A, and that's it. Canelo walks forward with his guard up, breaks his opponents down round after round with solid counter shots, and he tends to just be quicker to the punch. Aggression, aggression. Similar to Crawford though, he had a weak performance last time out against Skull, where his feet looked slower than usual and he didn't really cut the ring off that well at all. Skull was just moving backwards the entire fight, maybe flicking out a jab every 3 rounds or so, like legit, it was embarrassing. And Canelo couldn't get him out of there or even throw considerably more punches than he ended up doing. That fight was a waste of time and I could only get through 7 rounds of it before I shut it off. It was that one-dimensional and boring. Regardless, the big thing to take away from Canelo's fight with Skull and also Madrimov vs Crawford is how both guys showcased a bit of weakness as they're getting on in the sports. They're still top notch, and I do believe they'll bring the very best out of each other, but it's safe to say they both have slowed down. I believe Crawford won't be too deterred jumping up to 168, besides Canelo's punching power at that weight of course. However, I'm not convinced that weight alone will determine how Crawford performs and if it'll change much. Canelo's keys to victory are clear as day. Cut off the ring, put Crawford up against the ropes and swing away. Crawford, on the other hand, needs to really box well on the outside, but staying away from the ropes, as I don't think it'll be very safe for him. That's where Canelo wants to put pretty much all of his opponents. Crawford can win a decision, even with the Vegas judges, but he needs to be fucking elusive for all 12 rounds. If anyone can do it, it's Terence fucking Crawford, but it's a tall order all the same. We know that Crawford is a switch hitter, and I presume he'll be busting that move out the entire fight, confusing Canelo and throwing off his rhythm. Crawford can be slick, moving well, and boxing beautifully, but he could also just get caught by the bigger man, Canelo. Although I believe his ability has regressed, Canelo is still unbelievable at what he does. Everyone who faced him knew exactly what he was gonna do. Walk you down and put brutal counter shots together, but only 2 people have been able to nullify it. Mayweather back when Canelo was 23, although he was a champion, he wasn't prime Canelo yet. And most recently Bivol, where Canelo moved up and faced one of the slickest boxers in the world right now. If Crawford goes out there, leaps 2 weight divisions up, and beats the undisputed champion in Canelo, he must be considered pound for pound #1. Especially considering that he started his career at fucking lightweight. You've got to give the crown to him. I don't care that Canelo's aged and not as good as he once was. I understand that the Skull fight was a lackluster performance from him. If Crawford does the unthinkable, he deserves that #1 spot. And I'm saying that as a massive fucking Usyk fan. A lot of fans have been writing off Crawford, saying that he has no chance and that Canelo would be too big for him. Perhaps Canelo will land the better shots on the night and secure the victory, but never count out Terence Crawford. The dude is a beast. I mean, come on. What do you think about how Crawford versus Canelo goes? Would you consider Crawford the best boxer on the planet if he pulls it off? Let me know and I'll catch you down the road.